Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. If you love anime, heartfelt reactions, and deep dives into symbolism and themes, then you're in the right place. Before we jump into today's reaction, don't forget to hit that like button to show some love, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment of fun. And if you want even more exclusive content like early access to my reactions, full-length anime watch-alongs, and an amazing community of fellow anime lovers, then please do check out my Patreon. You can find a link in the description box below. Your support truly means the world as it helps to keep these reactions coming, and I'd love to have you join our cozy little anime family. Today, we are reacting to episode 17 of Frieren, and today's challenge is Don't Cry, because I've had a weird phenomenon of crying at every single episode lately that I've watched. Episode 15, episode 16. Did I cry at 14? Can't remember. If I did, it wouldn't shock me. This show just has a way of like pummeling me in the heart, catching me right in the feels, and it is devastating and so wholesome at the same time. But I would just like one episode again where I don't cry and question my sanity or as to why I'm watching the show, because I can't stop crying. The reason I can't stop watching the show is because it is phenomenal. It is amazing. And I saw people arguing about how the show doesn't deserve to win. Is it Anime of the Year or something? I see that like it's been nominated as like the top anime or something for like 2025 or 2024. Not quite sure what year. I just know it's been nominated for an award along with Apothecary Diaries and Solo Leveling, I believe. And so many people are saying that Frieren doesn't deserve to win because it's slow and it's boring. Slow? What do you mean slow? Just because it's not jam-packed full of action and it has an actual story and character development doesn't mean it's slow. Just because it doesn't go wham bam thank you ma'am every 2 minutes doesn't mean it's not a worthy show to watch. I know nothing about Solo Leveling. I'm gonna be straight up, but the only things I've kind of heard about Solo Leveling is that it's action, 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 nothing really much to it, not really much depth. Apparently the manga is more complex, but like the first season or so is like not that deep story-wise. So it kind of doesn't shock me if people maybe who prefer action series don't like Frieren, and that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. Not everyone's gonna like the same thing. Those of us that really enjoy deep storytelling and in-depth character development may not like shows that are more action-packed, full of hype moments instead of building on the characters and having deep emotional, philosophical conversations. That's not to say that action-packed shows cannot have that, because Attack on Titan does. I haven't seen any other shows yet. I've only watched 3 anime, which is Frieren, Death Note, and Attack on Titan, so I can't speak for every single anime, but I imagine there are some that combine action and storytelling in a great way. But I know that there are some animes that are just like straight up action, not much depth to it, not much to really show other than like flashy animation, and that's okay, because some people like that. Doesn't mean that they're gonna like Frieren, and that's okay, because it also means that people who like Frieren may not like those shows either. Everyone's allowed to like something different, and just because it's different and it's not for you doesn't mean it's not good. Okay? Don't yuck someone's yum because it's not for you. Frieren is amazing, and I will die on that hill and I will defend the show to my dying day. This show is so deep, so philosophical. It deals with really intense topics of mourning, loss, memory, love, friendship, connection, and I just love every single minute that I watch the show because the animation is straight up fire. The character development is deep and it touches my heart in a way that nothing else quite has touched my heart. I love every single character, whether they've been on the screen for 5 minutes or not, because every character is fleshed out well and has a meaning to them and a backstory to them. Nothing in this show is without a purpose. Everything has a reason to it. And it irks me when people are like, this show's bad. And I'm like, just because you don't like it doesn't mean the show is bad, okay? It stresses me out. It stresses me out, okay? But I've had my rant. I'm good. I needed to get that off my chest because it's been annoying me so much, okay? But without further ado, we're going to get into episode 17.
俺の旅の目的はこっちだ。
We also find out if they're gonna go
10
with
年前に
Scene
旅に出た親友
because
と合流
he's
する
trying
こ
to
とだ。
find Gorilla. I hope they do go with him. If they part ways, I'm gonna be really sad. He's only been in it for a couple of episodes, but I really like
ゴリ
him.
ラの行き先分かった？
テューはフリーレン。俺はゴリラを追いかけるために旅に
Oh,
出た。
please don't part ways.
とりあえず日も暮れそうですし、結論は明日でもいいんじゃないですか？
集落の小屋貸してもらったぜ。自由に使っていいってよ。
ありがとう。
I hope they don't part ways. I really love him. He's kind of like grown on me, and that take care makes it think that he's not gonna go with them anymore. Oh, I hope he does.
ご飯の食材買ってきました。
Is she okay? You good?
手が地べたい。
Oh, she's
もう
cold.
だいぶ寒くなってきたからね。
どれどれ。本当だ。超冷てえ。
They're getting a lot more like touchy-feely with each other now.
やめて
新記録でしょ？
I do the same thing whenever my hands are cold. I'm like, feel,
だけ
touch, let me touch you with my cold death grip.
また冬越えが必要になるのでしょうか？猛吹雪にでもならない限り大丈夫だよ。
Or not.
なりましたね。
なったな。
Oh dear. They're gonna have to
この地方
delay,
の
aren't
寒波
they?
は一月は続く。遠出はせん方がいいぞ。小屋はしばらく使ってもらって構わんから。
That's really nice of them though to lend the cabin for so long.
それ聞く必要があるの？
寒波が去るまで動けないか。
そういうことだ。
の前の山小屋と比べたらだいぶマシだね。
Where craft
何よりこ
spoons
の集
stuck.
落には怪しい老人がやっている魔法店があるんだよね。私の経験上、ああいう場所には伝説級の魔法がある。
I love how she always sees the positive because she's like, I get to delay and see all this really cool magic, so I don't care.
カビを消滅させる魔法や、しつこい油汚れを取る魔法だよ。すごい。確かに、あれは世界が一変するほど便利でした。
おばあちゃんの知恵袋かな。しかし、もうしばらくは一緒にいることになりそうだな。
Oh, I genuinely feel like they're gonna part ways after this, aren't they? They're gonna have this really sweet episode of them spending the next month together, and then they're gonna part ways. I honestly adore the music in this show. She's a
そろそろ
menace.
寒波の時期も終わる。
ザイン。
ん？
ちょっといい？
I just realized I've been saying his name wrong this whole time. It's not Scene, it's Sign.
なんだかシュタルクとフェルンの様子が変なんだよ。多分喧嘩してる。仲裁してよ。
そりゃ構わないが、なんで俺に頼むんだ？
仲裁は僧侶の仕事なんだよ。
Are they throwing like
そうなの？
a little dinner for him? Or are they actually fighting? They are actually fighting. What have you
ひど
done?
い状況だな。おい、一体何があった？
シュタルク様が悪いんです。
はい。俺が全部悪いんです。
一人ずつ隣の部屋に来なさい。
He's gonna interrogate them one on one. What's he done now, Fan? She's constantly having a huff with him, and I'm not quite sure why. Sometimes it's legit, and sometimes it's just very.
フェルンが俺のほっ
Childish.
ぺに冷たい手を当てたじゃん。
お
But then they're kids, so I mean.
今日それをやり返したら、フェルンが切れちゃった。
ガキかよ。
I mean,
この
he
ままで
is
いいと思うか？
technically a kid.
仲直りしたいです。
シュタルク、お前は俺と違って根はいいやつなんだから、正直に気持ちを言えばいい。フリーレンは喧嘩の仲裁なんかしてくれないぞ。
ああ、わかってる。フェルンに謝るよ。
What are they gonna do without him and his
シュタルクも反省している。
level-headedness? He's like the
あいつ
only
ガキなんだ。
adult in this group.
悪気があったわけじゃない。
謝りたいです。 元はといえば私のせいですし、ただ肩を押さえた腕の力が強くて、ちょっとだけ怖いと思ってしまったんです。
シュタルクのこと嫌いか？
なんでそんなこと聞くんですか？そう見えますか？
じゃあ怖かったことをちゃんと話して仲直りだ。
He's like a dad.
もっと優しくして。
ごめんよ。
Why didn't she apologize to him?
もう付き合っちゃえよ。
That's how I
よ
feel
くわから
too.
ないけど、ザインはとても頑張っていると思うよ。あり
Just
がとうね。
date already.
助かったよ。
フリーレン、お前ぐらいだよ。俺のことをガキみたいに褒めるのは。
実際にガキでし
To
ょ。
her, you are. She's like
まあ
triple
悪
your
い気分は
age.
しない。
Maybe quadruple your age.
旅に誘ってくれた時もそうだが、なんで俺なんかにこんなに構ってくれるんだ？
Probably sees herself in you as
やっぱ
well.
り同族嫌悪かな。冒険に出ようとしないザインが、だからこそきっと私はきっかけを与えたかったんだろうね。
なんだそりゃ。
勇者ヒンメルならそうしたってことだよ。
Oh, everything's what
手
Himmel
を
would
取れ
have done.
フリーレン。君が旅立つきっ
Himmel
かけは
haunts
この
this
僕だ。
entire story, and I'm not mad about it, but it just goes to show how much he's had an impact on her way of thinking
私はヒンメルたちに旅立つ勇気と
and how she
仲間
interacts
と
with
過ごす
others
楽しさ
too.
を教えてもらった。楽しかったでしょ？
I swear to God, do
と
not
て
make
も
me
楽しかったよ。
cry at this episode. I don't need it today. Also, the music doesn't help. It's so pretty.
忘れられない英雄になる。
私は今の話をしているんだよ、ザイン。
一緒にずっと歴史に名を残すような英雄になるってね。
It's gonna be hard for him because they're his friends too. I'm getting worked up again. It's like, take a minute, calm down. It's just like the music, I think, resonates with me so strongly. It gets me like
やっぱり俺はゴリ
worked
ラを追い
up.
かけるよ。もう後悔するつもりはないんだ。
Well, we kind of knew that was gonna
わかっているよ。
happen.
じゃあ元気で。
Oh, please go with him.
またね。
No,
またな。
that makes me really sad.
ずいぶんあっさりと別れるじゃん。
Yeah.
ザインは二人と違って大人だからね。きっとうまくやるよ。
Oh, I'm really sad. Why am I getting emotional over him leaving?
一人だとこんなに静かなんだな。
Oh, I don't like the idea of them not being together. No crying. No crying. Just tearing up, but not crying. I hope something changes.
あれ、珍しいの。まだ寝てる。最近歩き詰めだったし、疲れているのかもな。
They're still sleeping,
ま
aren't
あいい
they?
か。
Are they okay?
おーい、朝飯できたぜ。そろそろ起きろ。
Why do I feel like something's
Frieren.
wrong? Oh, she's got a fever. He's gonna have to go after
おい
him,
フリー
isn't
レン
he?
起きてくれ。
あと半日。
そんなに眠っちゃダメでしょうが。おい。
やめてよ。ああ、熱があるね。
I thought maybe Frieren wasn't well.
Watatabaku
She's
shite
just
nakucha.
being a big EP baby, as usual.
ザインが残してくれた薬草について書かれた手記だよ。
へえ、ザインが。
魔法で病気の判別をすれば対応する薬草がわかる。
でも病気の判別って女神様の魔法だろ？確か聖典の所持者しか使えないって話じゃ。
私だって聖典くらい持っているよ。
え？鍋敷きにされてる！
僧侶の才能がない私でも簡単な病気の判別くらいはできるよ。そういえば以前ヒンメルたちと薬草を採取した場所が近くにあったっけ？
とりあえず寒さをしのげる場所まで行こうぜ。いやー、助かったぜ。こんな山の中に人が住んでいるだなんてな。
前来た時は村だったんだけどね。
もう
No, it's
何
just
十年
you.
も前のことよ。勇者様も立ち寄ったことのある由緒ある村だったのだけれどもね。
HIMMEL.
まあゆっくり休んでいくといいわ。
ところでこの近くにつらら桜の木があったよね。
ええ、
Icicle cherry blossom.
少し入り組んだところにあるけれども。
大丈夫。
What a nice woman, though, to just kind of take in these randomers that she doesn't know. She's like, yeah, come on in.
ここに
Use
来
my
てから
house.
ずっと手を握っているな。
フェルンは風邪をひいた時、手を握ってあげると安心す
Sart's
るん
gonna
だ
have to hold her hand while
小
Frieren
さい
goes
頃
out,
から
right?
そうなんだ。おフリーレン様、恥ずかしいです。
In front of Stark.
子供扱いしないでください。
Aww. Makes sense, like, Fan has grown up quite a lot, and Frieren
あ
still
と
sees
2
her
年
kind
も
of
す
as
れ
a
ば立
kid.
派な大人か。
But it must be hard for her
ちょっと
not
前までこのく
to
らい
see
の
her as
女の子だったん
anything
だ
other
よ。
than a child.
で
Just
も私の
practically
方が
helped
ずっと
raise
高か
her.
ったあっという間だった。私の中ではね、フェルンはまだ子供なんだよ。
Kind of like a parent have to reconcile with the idea that their kid is growing up and letting go. She kind of has to do the same with Fan. Oh, baby. Reminds me of the Pope turtle from Elden Ring. Oh, wow. It's so pretty. It's
綺麗だね。
gorgeous.
フェルンにも見せてあげたかった。冬に咲く花の中では一番好きかな。
I think it might be mine as well, Frieren. It's gorgeous.
なんでフェルンの手を握ったんだ？普段はそこまで子供扱いしてねえだろ。
子供扱いしたつもりはないよ。フェルンが辛そうだったから手を握っただけ。
And she wanted to comfort her.
私はあれしか苦痛を和らげてあげる方法を知らないから、私はどうすればよかったんだろうね。
The connection that she has with Fan, that's the only thing she can think to do to relieve her pain.
多分人には心の支えが必要なんだ。
My
支
girl
え
is
てもらって悪い気分に
learning.
なるやつはいねえよ。
Look at you go, Frieren.
何のつもり？
うなされていたから。
No!
風邪の時は心細いからね。
Oh, don't.
幼い頃亡くなった母はこうしてよく手を握ってくれた。
I can't not cry when Himmel shows up.
子供の頃の話でしょ。
心の支えが必要なのは子供だけじゃない。悪い気分ではないだろ。
そうだね。悪くないかも。
気遣う僕もなかなかイケメンだろ。
黙ってて。
Again, it's what Himmel would
できました
do.
よ。
Fuck's sake.
多分フェルンが恥ずかしがっていたのは俺がいたからだ。
She wouldn't have been
甘えている
embarrassed if
姿
Stark
なんて
wasn't there.
人に見られたくなんかないよな。
ありがとうね、シュタルク。やりたいようにやってみるよ。お礼にシュタルクが風邪をひいた時は私が手を握ってあげるね。
やだよ、恥ずかしいもん。
You won't say that when she does it when you're sick.
思ったよりもでっかい。怖い。
あとは他の材料を加えて。
Oh, the jump scare
よ
of
くかき混ぜて
Himmel every
魔女
time.
みたい。すごく怖い。
And the tears that come from it every
口を
time.
開けて、フェルン。大丈夫だよ。すぐに良くなるから。フリーレン様、私は
It's not just children that need emotional support.
知っているよ。
She's gonna say it, isn't she? She's gonna say the line.
くれぐれも体には気をつけていくんだよ。
本当にありがとうございました。
That's her way of connecting with Fan and taking
フ
care
リ
of
ーレン
her.
様とシュタルク様、ザイン様の指揮のおかげですね。
looking after them even when he's
あのお
not
家の方
here.
にも大変よくしていただきました。それじゃあ目指すは魔法都市オイサーストだ。
Mission failed. Mission failed. The minute Himmel showed up, I knew I wasn't going to be able to hold it together. Fucking Himmel. Every time he shows up and they have that emotional connection with each other, and you see how much of an impact he's had on her and the way that she interacts and engages with people now that he's gone, because he's fundamentally influenced her as a person. Tears every time. I just know I can't hold it together. I can't. No matter what, Himmel has changed Frieren. Whether she knew at the time or not, she has been changed for the better because of Himmel. Because what would Himmel do? Also, I found out recently that somebody stopped a knife attack on a train because they asked themselves, what would Himmel do? He prevented a stabbing in Taiwan because he asked himself, what would Himmel have done? Right? And people say that this show isn't good or that the show doesn't have influence. And somebody literally prevented a stabbing because he went, what would Himmel do? Himmel would have intervened. Himmel would have stepped in and he became the hero that Himmel would have been proud of. How cool is that though? I was like, there's no way that's real. I was like, that's insane. But it is. It's true. It's a true story. Genuinely crazy. The way that Himmel haunts the narrative is the best aspect of this show for me, because it not only heightens that emotional connection to him, because we get those interactions between him and Frieren, but we also get to see at the same time as Frieren, we're learning as Frieren is learning just how much Himmel impacted her. It's not going to be an instantaneous recognition. As Frieren learns it, we also learn it as a viewer. When she connects with those memories, we're also connecting with those memories. We're meant to be in the perspective of Frieren here, that we're only realizing just how much influence he has on her at the same time that Frieren is. We're in this journey from inexperience to experience, and we're following Frieren in her footsteps. Yes, we have a little bit more knowledge and insight because we're the viewer and we're not primarily in her shoes. But in relation to Himmel, we are in the same situation because Himmel isn't really present bar the memories and flashbacks that Frieren has. Without those memories and flashbacks, we really wouldn't have much of Himmel in the show because he dies in the first episode. But it's the fact that he pervades this narrative, and the impact that he has is so resounding, not just on Frieren, but every character we seem to come into contact with. People remember him fondly. They remember the good things that he did for them. And Gorilla wants to be a hero because of Himmel. The resounding impact of goodness and kind-heartedness and strength and heroism that Himmel has had is what makes the world a better place. And it's something we should all aspire to be. We should all aspire to be like Himmel, to bring good to the world, to do good in the world, and to fundamentally care and look after each other rather than be negative and hateful and spiteful. We should all aspire to be a Himmel in our own lives. And the message of this show is just so beautiful, and it breaks my heart. It really does. I really didn't want Sion to go, but unfortunately they did part ways, and it was a very mature parting because, as she said, he's an adult. They don't need a long goodbye. But I hope he comes back into it. If he doesn't come back into the show, I'm going to be really angry because I've grown to love and care for him. But I guess that's also a message for life if he doesn't come back into the show. Not everybody's in our life forever, but they can still have a profound impact on us. He wasn't in their journey for a long time, but the impact that he had in terms of helping Stark and Fern connect in a way that they were unable to previously because Frieren couldn't quite get them to connect in the same way as Sion, but also the fact that he leaves the notes about medicinal herbs. He's still helping them long after he's gone. He's gone on his own way, but he's still contributing. He's still helping them. He's still participating in their journey, just not in a physical sense. And I guess it's a metaphor for life that not everyone will be in our life for a long time, but they will have a profound impact on us. But just in the same way that Himmel wasn't in Freyren's life for a long time, but had a significant impact nonetheless. And this whole, I'm holding your hand because it looks like you're in pain, and it's the emotional support that I can offer you because I can't do anything to take that pain away, but it's the only thing I can do to help. And Fern's like, don't treat me like a child. She probably wouldn't have minded if Stark wasn't there because, you know, teenage crush, she's embarrassed. She doesn't want to seem weaker than she is. She wants to be this strong, respectable figure. And that makes sense. You can't resent her for it. But at the same time, Frieren is almost like a parent to Fern. They may have an odd dynamic. There are times that Fern parents Frieren, but Frieren has helped raise Fern. She has been there throughout her life stages, has watched her grow up. So it must be hard for her to not still treat her like a child, not to mention the significant age gap between them, but the fact that she has been there since she was little, watched her grow up, and almost is a parental figure to Fern. Fern wants her respect and admiration. So it must be hard to kind of move away from seeing them as a child and seeing them as an adult. I guess you could also see it as an allegory for parents having to understand that their children are getting older, that the boundaries between them are shifting, that they require more space and independence and respect than they previously did. And it must be hard for parents to let go of children. I don't have kids, so I don't know. But I know that watching my brothers grow up, because there's a big age gap between me and my brothers, watching them grow up and having to relearn that boundary between them as kids and as adults was really hard for me because they were like my babies. I helped raise them. So it's kind of difficult to let go when they hit a certain age and they're like, I'm not a kid anymore. And you have to kind of take a step back and go, they're not a kid. But at the same time, she reiterates to Fern, you might think I'm treating you like a child, but I'm not. I'm offering emotional support. You don't have to be a child to want emotional support and connection in times of pain and suffering. She just wants to comfort her because she's going through a fever and she's likely not having a good time. And it's just her only way of trying to make her feel better and to let her know that she's there for her, much in the same way that Himmel did for her. Himmel's mom used to hold his hand when he was ill. He now does the same for Frieren because there's no other means of comfort he can provide because she's sick. She has to get better. But in the meantime, he can offer some emotional support and he can be there for her physically when nothing else kind of works. It's just this show is just so sweet. I love this show so much. I know I say that in every outro, and you're probably sick of me saying it and probably sick of me crying too at this point, but I can't help but praise this show every minute that I get because it hits on an entirely new level. I love Attack on Titan, don't get me wrong. It's been probably one of the most phenomenal things that I've ever watched. But Frieren just hits different. Frieren just hits true to the core of being a person, of what it means to be human, of how to interact and engage with the world. But I also think it provides really meaningful life lessons as to how we can be better people and how we can be kind and considerate and offer emotional support, and also ask ourselves, what would Himmel do in order to make sure that we make the best decisions in life that don't resort in hurting people? And I think the show has a really great way of teaching us to be loving and to value connections and to value our memories and time with the people that we care about most, and to take every moment that we can get because we never know when that moment could be severed. We never know when we might lose them. So we have to take advantage of every piece of time that we have with the people we love because time is sacred. And the show kind of tells you that time is sacred because, again, time separates her from who she loves. And it's because of time that they weren't able to be together. So every moment she spent with Himmel is precious. That time is valued and precious because it's the only time that she has with him. And it's such a small part of her lifespan, and yet it's so meaningful, so significant that we very rarely see anything outside of her time with Himmel. I know that she kind of cloistered herself away for years, but even in relation to Flem, we very rarely see much about Flem, and she spent a lot of time with Flem too, but we don't see a lot of that relationship. We see bits and pieces, but nowhere near as much as her interactions with Himmel, Eisen, and Heiter, going to show that yes, it was only a mere 10 years, but considering her long lifespan, nothing has quite come close to surpassing those memories. Those memories are front and center, and nothing is replacing them, which just goes to show how important and how valued they are. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next time, bye!